Peace in the streets. I got through a big dance on Sunday. Calling my team, brethren from all over. Well, you go see me now. Peace in the streets. We go stretch this line till Monday. Calling the teams, brethren from all over. Remember when we run my dance together? Remember when we went stadium together? We play football and cricket together. Basketball, dominoes, cards together. We hear a rumor that spread on the low. They say up here, Caroline long so. Be streety, no love go show. And all dance around back. Peace in the streets. I got through a big dance on Sunday. Calling my team, brethren from all over. Well, you go see me now. Peace in the streets. We go stretch this line till Monday. Calling the teams, brethren from all over. John, linking together. Big Ton, linking together. Belly Road, linking together. Brethren from all over. Sea Lots, linking together. Big Tom, linking together. Mover, linking together. Brethren from all over. When we say boom, peace in the streets. I got through a big dance on Sunday. Calling my team, brethren from all over. Well, you go see me now. Peace in the streets. We go stretch this line till Monday. Calling the teams, brethren from all over. Remember when we run my dance together? Remember when we went stadium together? We play football and cricket together. Basketball, dominoes, cards together. Me hear a rumor that spread on the low. They say up here, Caroline long so. Be streety, no love go show. And all dance around back. Peace in the streets. I got through a big dance on Sunday. Calling my team, brethren from all over. Well, you go see me now. Peace in the streets. We go stretch this line till Monday. Calling the teams, brethren from all over. Peace in the streets. We go stretch this line till Monday. Calling the team, brethren from all over. Well, you go see me now. Peace in the streets. Peace in the streets. It's peace in the streets. Peace in the streets. Nah. Peace in the streets. Through a big dance on Sunday. Calling the team, brethren from all over. Well, you go see me now.
Greetings and salutations to one and all. How y'all doing?
Brethren from all over.
Welcome to the night shift to DJ Kevin Stewart's Community and Finance Night.
Stretch this line till Monday.
Want to say big ups to each and everyone locked in right now.
From all over.
Those on tune and radio.
Remember when we run my dance together?
The night shift to DJ Kevin Stewart. Welcome.
We play football and cricket.
Much love to those who are hailing from across the pond. One Harmony Radio. Top of the morning to you guys over in the UK.
Hello, they say up.
Much love to ya.
No love for show and all dance around.
I want to say big ups to the massive out of New Jersey. NIE Radio.
Show a big dance on Sunday.
Hanging out with New Jersey's finest, the motivator.
Brethren from all over. Well, you go see me now. Peace in the streets.
I want to say big ups to those who are locked in out of New York.
Calling the teams.
Hanging out to the island worldwide, exhibiting the power of music.
John, linking together.
Enough love, China Nicole.
Linking together.
Gary, much love to you.
Linking together.
Jump Out production crew. Blessings.
Sea Lots, linking together. Beat Tom, linking.
Big ups to those who are locked in out to Long Island, New York.
Linking together.
Reggae Pulse Radio.
When we say boom,
blessings to you.
In the streets, I got through
DJ Atomic Force crew. Much love to you.
Brethren from all over. Well, you go see me now. Peace in the streets. Go stretch this line till Monday.
Big ups to the massive out of Texas.
Brethren from all over.
You know Texas lad, right?
Remember when we run my dance together?
Hello up radio, massive big ups.
Together.
Dusic Media crew. Welcome.
Basketball, dominoes.
WGLRO, home of the Donny Walker Morning Show. The People's Station. Touching from Detroit to Denmark and all points in between. Much love to you. Donny. How you doing, bro?
Peace in the streets. Got through a big dance on Sunday.
Big ups to the massive out of South Florida.
Brethren from all over.
Locked in on the Foundation Radio Network, ClintonLindsay.com. Mr. Twinkle Toes himself, Mr. Clinton Lindsay.
The teams, Virgins from all over.
Blessings to you.
Peace in the streets. Go stretch this line till Monday. Calling the team. Virgins from all over.
Yeah, big ups the Virgins from all over.
Peace in the streets. Peace in the streets. It's peace in the streets.
Much love to those who are locked in on Zeno FM.
This line till Monday.
And bubbling in the stew pot.
Virgins from
along with the massive on Clubhouse.
Remember when we Ramadans together?
Yeah man, the same pot. The stew pot.
We play football and cricket together. Basketball, dominoes, cards together. We are a woman that spread on the
blessings to those who are locked in on Facebook Live. As a reminder, those on Facebook Live and Clubhouse, it's only a segment broadcast. Don't get too comfortable.
To a big dance on Sunday. Calling the team.
Use up the link. It's pinned in the comment section. It's in the description.
Stretch this line till
it's kevinstew.com.
Calling the teams. Virgins from all over. John, linking together.
I want to say big ups to my segment sponsors. Impulsive Media Group and Being in the Moment is priceless. Give them a call.
See you lots.
They'll take care of your videos, your photos, your streaming, your advertising, and much, much more.
Linking together.
Everything you see here on kevinstew.com. Yeah man, they can take care of that. Posting your site.
Dance on Sunday.
Providing streaming services on your site.
Virgins from all over.
They can stream your event live and in living color.
Streets.
Church service, funeral, party, graduation, seminar, you name it.
Teams. Virgins from all over.
Just give them a call, 754-999-1140. At 754-999-1140.
We play football and cricket together.
And tell them Kevin Stew sent you.
Me and a woman that spread on the load. Say up here.
I want to say thank you to Althea and her Healing Heavenly Hands.
You know love go show and all that.
Althea is a licensed massage therapist operating out of Broad County, North Miami-Dade and South Palm Beach counties.
Stretch this line till
she comes to you, bringing her table, her oils on over 20 years massage therapy experience.
Remember when we
give her a call, 954-655-9000.
jump together. We play
That's 954-655-9000.
We are a woman that spread on the load. They say up here.
Schedule your appointment today. She only has one request outside of paying her. That is to get off her table and go sleep somewhere else.
The streets. I go through a big dance on Sunday.
It's called the Kevin Stew Clause.
Calling the team.
With good reason.
Just from
I always fall asleep after a massage. Well, during the massage. I won't even wait till after.
Stretch this line.
During the massage, I'm out.
Calling the teams. Virgins from all over.
I want to say thank you to Reggae Global Entertainment.
Big ton.
Reggae Global acts as your booking agents, handle your tour management, take care of your business registrations, legal service referrals, music production, marketing and promotion, and much, much more.
Linking together, over, linking together, virgins from all over.
Give them a call, 954-804-8199.
I go through a big dance on.
That's 954-804-8199.
All over, well you go see me now.
Tell them Kevin Stew sent you.
Go stretch this line till Monday. Calling the teams.
Thank you to McNeil Trucking. With McNeil Trucking, your goods are in good hands. They're licensed and insured movers in the state of Florida.
We play football and cricket.
You want to move from point A to point B, put some things in storage, don't have the manpower, the transportation, the equipment, no worries.
Stay up here, line long.
You have the name and you have the number, not McNeil Trucking.
Show and all dance around max.
954-406-9740.
On Sunday.
That's 954-406-9740.
Well, you go see me now.
Call them up, tell them you heard about them on the night shift to DJ Kevin Stew.
Time till Monday. Calling the teams. Virgins from all over.
It's Community and Finance Night.
Just stretch this line till Monday.
And the sound of Ben Jai kicking us off, track called Peace in the Streets.
You see me now. Peace in the streets.
Sometimes there are some things that cause some chaos out in the streets, you know.
Peace in the streets, nah. Peace in the streets.
And you wouldn't believe it, but this might be one of them.
Calling the team.
Haven't heard of any riots yet, but I don't think people are really paying attention to what is going on. So what we're talking about tonight is shrinkflation. Yeah, it kind of sounds like somebody playing a cruel joke, right? They're just being mean. How dare you? What kind of cruel joke is this you want to play on us? Shrinkflation? No such thing exists. But could they be right? Could they be onto something? Maybe no such thing really exists, and some people are making it up. But have you been paying attention to the products that you are purchasing at the store? If not, then maybe, just maybe, there's no cruel joke. And maybe this thing is real. So, shrinkflation. People hear about inflation and immediately start to panic. So, what kind of emotion, what kind of response should people have to shrinkflation? So, according to CNET.com, rather than raise prices, many manufacturers are shrinking package sizes. So, how is it that people don't notice? It's a smaller package, or it's less in the package. But is it? So, according to this article on CNET.com, higher grocery bills continue to plague American consumers. Yes, just about anywhere that is anywhere where you have civilization, there are higher prices right now. I don't know of anywhere where prices have not gone up on anything. So, higher grocery bills plague American consumers as the consumer price index for May earlier this year showed that the food at home index was up another 1%. Food prices in April were already up 10.8% from where they were last year. And the biggest 12-month increase since November 1980 also happened over that period, according to the Bureau of Labor and Statistics. Well, Bureau of Labor Statistics. Now, it is not just the consumers that, though manufacturers are feeling the pinch of inflation as well. So, yeah, we as consumers, we at first would get up in arms because, strength in numbers. More of us are, it's more of us as consumers than there are as manufacturers. So as we communicate with each other, we get to share about this thing. So manufacturers are feeling the pinch of inflation as well, with ingredients costing more and supply chain issues making it harder to get goods to store shelves and things like that, Rather than just raise prices, some manufacturers shrink their packaging, which is the practice known as shrinkflation. A while back, I was getting banana chips. And as most Jamaicans do, we love banana chips. And there's a particular brand of banana chips that I would get. And I noticed that it was like half the bag of banana chips and the rest was here. And I started saying, this isn't going to work for me. So what did I do? I switched products. Yep, I changed brands. I left from the brand that I grew up on to a brand that came out sometime later. And I was just as satisfied because I had banana chips. Some people say it doesn't taste the same, whatever. That's your choice. That's your feeling. Cool. For me, I have banana chips and I'm good. And so I recognized that this was happening. And then I also recognized a little thing going on with potato chips. Now, I'm not big on potato chips like that, but on that occasion, I would grab a bag of potato chips. And a few years ago, I realized, wait, there are less potatoes in this bag of potato chips and more here. So what's up with that? But again, not paying much attention, only mentioning it to a few friends, and we would have a chuckle about it or get a little bit upset, and then we move right along. Yeah. But still, there's more potato chips in hand the next week or the next day. Shoppers across the United States have actually reported smaller toilet paper rolls, fewer potato chips, and other reductions in supermarket staples. I can tell you, I didn't really notice it on the toilet paper roll. But then I was talking with someone about getting less in some packages. And then I got someone shared with me a video on shrinkflation, and I was like, wait, they do this with toilet paper too? I didn't even notice it with a tissue. Huh. That's an issue with the tissue. But I didn't notice it. I didn't catch on. So it has been going on for a while. It comes in waves, consumer advocate Edward Dorsky told NPR. And he says, we happen to be in a tidal wave at the moment because of inflation. So what is it that happens with this whole shrinkflation thing? What does it mean, shrinkflation? Well, it's a practice of reducing the size or quantity of a product while keeping the same price. It can mean fewer chips in a bag, fewer scoops of ice cream in the container, but basically, the purchase price remains the same, but the cost per unit rises. Now, do we pay attention to the cost per unit like that? Yes, no, maybe so. Customers may not notice what are effectively price increases. John Gorville, a professor of business administration at the Harvard Business School, says, we found that consumers reacted greatly to periodic changes in prices, but not at all to periodic, yet systemic, reductions in quantity. Gorville said this in an interview back in 2004. Like I said, a few years ago, I noticed the thing with the potato chips, right? Some companies disguise shrinkflation with a package redesign, according to Gorville, like adding dents to the bottom of bottles or touting claims of lower calories. You see how marketing is important in business? That's how individuals can get over, or businesses, manufacturers can get over on Joe Public with just a nice little marketing package. A Gatorade representative told Quartz in March that the company redesigned its bottles to be more aerodynamic and easier to grab. It also happened to reduce the amount of Gatorade in the container from 32 ounces to 28 ounces, but nobody caught that. They just saw the new design of the bottle and thought, oh, this is cool. Oh, this is sexy. It's sleek. It looks like a Coca-Cola bottle. Now it has curves. Ooh. Did you miss the whole part about getting less product? I don't know how many people actually catch on to these things. And so, yeah, we're talking about it on the broadcast. 773-789-STEW is the number that gets you in touch, because I know some people might want to share some ideas, share some views, share something. 773-789-7839. That is the number to get you in touch. You can call, you can text, you can WhatsApp, you can Telegram. Of course, you go to kevinstew.com, the home of the night shift to DJ Kevin Stew, where you're encouraged to have acceptance through enlightenment. And what do you get to do? You get to interact with me by text. How? It's called the Stew Pot. It's what others call a chat room, but because of fancy over here on kevinstew.com, it's a stew pot. Just go to kevinstew.com and boom, you're there. You can change your name. You can remain anonymous and use the number that you're given when you go into the stew pot. That's all up to you. But we only ask that you be respectful and just interact right there. Those on Clubhouse, those on Facebook, come on over to kevinstew.com because in a little bit we're going to be switching over. But if you're, hey Ebony, nice to see you pop in the club, hanging out in the clubhouse over there. I thought about you today actually. Come on over, kevinstew.com. Watch me, interact over there. Interact with me over there. Just go in the stew pot and drop me a message. Because, or do you have something that you want to say now? 773-789-STEW. Numbers to call, numbers to text. Or Ebony, you can just call the number that you have. 773-789-STEW. Get you in touch in the studio. So, some companies do the redesign thing. And many of us miss it. Because we're so caught up with what we actually see versus what we actually pay attention to. Now, there comes the question, wait a minute. So, changing the size or the quantity and keeping the price, is that something that can be done? Is that legal? Well, it is not illegal to shrink your package size, so long as the product amounts are clearly labeled and the business is not engaging in unfair or deceptive practices, according to the Massachusetts Office of Consumer Affairs. They say this is legal. Companies can change prices of their products whenever they want. This way, they do it, and it reduces the amount of complaints that the companies receive as a consequence of this kind of stuff, says Tom Fullerton, an economics professor at the University of Texas at El Paso. And he said this to KFOX. So, can they do it? Yes, they can. Have they been doing it? Yes, they have. Will they continue to do it? Well, no doubt. Because it's legal. And, you know, that's one of the things, too, about the free market economy. You kind of get to operate in a way that you can operate in, you know, as long as you're not price gouging, you're not caught price gouging, and everybody else is doing the same thing, then, hey, it's all fair game, right? One of the things that has always baffled me, though, and maybe I should dive deeper into economics as a result of it, but why is there inflation in the first place? Because here's the thing. If it cost $1 last week to make a watch, and the manufacturers of the watch says, hey, you know, it costs more to make this watch now than it did a year ago, so I'm going to go up on the price. Or, well, yeah, it costs more, so they're going up on the price. And let's say, okay, let's not use watch, let's use gasoline. So gasoline prices, the price per barrel has gone up, and it can be argued that the cost to mine the crude oil, to process it, to make gasoline, that has gone up. And so then the cost of everything else has to go up as a result. So all the products in the grocery store have to go up, all the cost of transportation has to go up, everything else has to go up as a result. But then, at some point in time, salary is going to have to go up. Because everything else is affected. So, if salary cannot cover your living expenses and pay your bills, then where do you end up? Now you end up with an economy that is crashing or failing because the citizens of that country cannot maintain a decent quality of life. So here we are. The cost of gasoline has gone up and everything else has gone up as a result because gasoline gets the blame. And saying, okay, it costs more or it's a supply and demand issue. So there's less in supply, so the demand is higher, so it raises prices. Okay, cool, I get it. How does that affect everything else? So now these companies are saying, all right, let's go ahead and shrink the package. Let's give less product for the same money so that it doesn't look like we are raising prices. But if you raise the price with the original quantity, how much different is it going to be from lowering the quantity and keeping the price? So all that we end up with really is a little sleight of hand. You know, you swap black dog for monkey, as we would say growing up in Jamaica. Because here it is, with less product at the same cost, that product is going to be done. You're going to consume that product over a shorter period of time. So you're going to have to go back and buy that product again if it's a product that you use regularly. So what do you end up doing? Buying the same product in a shorter time. Buying two of the same product in a shorter time than you would originally because you had more product in the package. Now, if they raise the price of the product, then you'd be paying more for that amount of product that you would normally consume over that regular period of time. Now, it may not seem like a big difference, but you check it out. Those fewer scoops of ice cream, those fewer bites of potato chips, that leads you to go back and buy that product again. It adds up just as much, if not more. You'd be surprised. So, if I am wrong, feel free to correct me. Tell me that I'm wrong. Or tell me that I'm slightly off target with my reasoning. Whichever way, tell me something. We're going to take a quick little break. When we come back, we're going to talk some more. Those on Clubhouse, those on Facebook Live. This is where we're going to part company. But before we do so, I just want to remind you of a few things as it relates to some products that are available. And everybody is in some kind of business. I'm in a little bit of a business myself. I have opened a Mary Kay store. Yes, I'm an independent Mary Kay consultant. And you can get Mary Kay products through my store. What's the store? marykay.com/Kevin Stew. I got involved because of skincare. And so for your skincare products, yeah, you can get some makeup stuff too. But you're going ahead and putting makeup on damaged skin and you could end up in more problems. Let's go ahead and do some skin repair. Let's do some skin maintenance. And so you can get some skin care products and then you can make up as you see fit. But there are products for men too because guys have skin also. So there is face and beard care, there are fragrances, there are body washes, there are lotions, all available to you through my Mary Kay store. And for those who are into skin tone balancing, there's this product called CC Cream. It's amazing, lightweight. The picture that you see, those of you who are watching, that's my friend. And she gave me permission to use this picture. And she loves the product. She has some blemishes on her face, but you can't really tell from this picture because what? This lightweight product covers it up. It's called CC Cream. It's a color correction cream. Check it out at my Mary Kay store, marykay.com/Kevin Stew. We'll be right back after these other messages. Facebook Live and Clubhouse. We'll catch up with you later on, or come on over to kevinstew.com. Be interactive over there. Don't miss out. I'd love to hear from you. One thing before I go. All right, so I'll hit that when I come back, Rupert. All right, kevinstew.com is the place to be. Just go jump on over, all right? We'll be right back.
Pulse Media Group, innovative streaming and recording, has done it again. A new way to get your business in full view of your neighborhood consumer through AdShare TV. It's available in your neighborhood today. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. Become a host today and place a TV monitor in a strategic location so it's easy to see. Get a 1-minute video ad or longer that plays anywhere in our network. Can't be a host? No problem. For a few dollars, we'll run your 30-second video ad. A host can run announcement specials like buy one get one free or discount ads. Let's turn your flyers into a 30-second video with music or a voiceover, or let us create and run your video ad with a spokesperson. Take advantage of our early enrollment discount. Join us today. Your ad will be seen at least 30 times per day in your AdShare TV neighborhood. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. AdShare TV, part of Pulse Media Group.
Today in school, I learned a lot. In chemistry, I learned that no one likes me. In English, I learned that I'm disgusting. And in physics, I learned that I'm a loser.
Today in school,
In math,
I learned that I'm ugly
I
and
learned
useless.
that I'm trash.
And in gym,
In biology,
I learned that I'm
I
pathetic
learned that I'm fat
and a
and
joke.
stupid.
In history,
Today in
I learned that
school,
I'm trash.
Today in school, I learned that I have no friends. In English, I learned that I make people sick.
And in
And
gym,
at lunch, I learned that I sit on my own because I smell.
and a joke.
In chemistry, I learned that no one
In
likes me.
biology, I learned that I'm fat and stupid.
In English,
And in
I
math,
learned that I make people
I
sick.
learned that I'm trash.
The only thing I didn't learn in school today,
The only thing I didn't learn today
The only thing I didn't learn,
It's why no one ever helps.
Kids witness bullying every day. They want to help, but they don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov. A message from the Ad Council.
Reggae Global Entertainment presents the brand new self-titled album from Yishka with 9 great songs. Oh Baby, Let Me Love You.
Oh, baby.
Be Grateful for Life.
Be grateful for life.
Shake You Down.
Girl, I wanna shake you
What else can I do?
What else can I do?
Babe, Come Over.
Baby, come over.
My. It's our time
You know I love you.
for your love.
For your love, I would do anything.
I'm Falling.
I'm falling in love again.
Yishka. 9 great songs. Available on all streaming platforms.
You sure look good tonight.
Available now.
Hey, I'm representing for DJ Kevin Stew, working on the night shift radio show. Won't go changing like the weather, just to please the devil never. Will DJ Kevin Stew sell his soul? That's a word and honor. It's Christine representing word and honor. Celestia DJ Kevin Stew.
life is good. Life is good. Life is good. Life is good. Wake up, just start my day out. Thank God for my whole life. Go outside, sun is shining. Take a car drive to a nice beach. Not a worry in the world, just me by myself. Not a worry in the world, let my problems at home. Life is good. Life is have a drink. Endless possibilities. Not a worry in the world. Just me and my girls. Not a worry in the world. We just came to have fun. Life is good. Life is good. Life is good. Life is good.
Life is good. The sound of Rachel Davy Lee. All right, so those of so a bunch of people jumped on Facebook Live. Let me just quickly address you guys before I part company with you guys on Facebook Live. Much love, Rupert. I truly appreciate love the encouragement and the sentiment. Hey, cuz, how you doing? Smiley Wiley, how you doing? Come on over, kevinstew.com. Yo, Mark Cameron. Blessings, brethren. It's been a minute. Come on over, kevinstew.com for the remainder of the broadcast. We continue over there. Jump in the chat room. Send me your messages. Give me a call. 773-789-STEW. 773-789-7839. I want to hear from you guys. Talk to me. You know, share your views with me. I wanna hear what you guys have to say on this matter, because yeah, it's one of those that boy, it's stressful sometimes, to be honest. It really is. But it's one of them that also needs to be addressed. Yeah, so come on over kevinstew.com, because we're parting company with those on Facebook Live right about now. So come on over kevinstew.com. It's pinned in the comment section. It's pinned. It's in the comments. It's in the description. You can't miss it. Just one click. Come on over. All right, cool. Deuces. Much love. Cause did I big you up? Big ups. All right, so that take care of that. Rachel Davy Lee brought us back with Life is Good. And it is, no doubt about it. Life is good, but sometimes we have to endure some really slick tricks to maintain life. You know, just to survive. According to finance.yahoo.com, there was an article that was written a couple of weeks ago by Brooke De Palma, and she talks about the whole idea of rising food prices, you know, the shrinkflation amid rising food prices, and how it's like a magic show. and you know, I saw the title and I was like, okay, this has to be very interesting. Some comments that I didn't see. Thank you for sending them to me directly. One of the comments was, their products, their rules. And in a free trade economy, it's kind of what we have to deal with. You know, we want to buy things, we want to be consumers of certain products. Then how do we go about doing it? We pay for it. End of story. You know, but how else are we gonna get it? If you have a better way, you let me know. But as far as I know, free world, do whatever. And I just saw the thing said. So, with grocery prices rising, experts say consumers should be on the lookout for products also getting smaller. If the price remains the same, then something is changing. Either way, something has to change. And as I was talking earlier, and hoping that somebody who is well versed in economics could come and shed some light on the situation, because as far as I'm concerned, it's not rocket science. It's very simple, but somehow we are led to believe that some things must happen. And I'm okay with that. If some things must happen, if change must happen, change is inevitable. Okay, let's go ahead and make some changes. So the first change being that the cost of something is going to go up. And it's going up as a result of the cost of something else going up. Okay, cool. So if that is the trend, yes, it's a great thing that we have options. 229, SB 229. Thank you very much. If this product here has gone up as a result of ingredients getting more expensive, the sourcing of the ingredients, sourcing of product, getting the product to the store, whatever it is, that adds to the final cost of the product. Which is probably why the cost of certain products vary from place to place, depending on the amount of transportation that has to take place. But the manufacturers are reducing the cost, reducing the amount of products that we're getting. So my feeble mind says, if everything is going up in order to give us this product, then our earnings should also go up to compensate. Yeah? So why is it that it is the person at what? The bottom of the table who is actually the most valuable person to an economy treated the worst? If we as consumers are not buying products, then how are they going to sell? Yeah, we need our salaries to inflate also. If everything else, this is what I'm saying, if everything else is going up, how is it that salaries are not also going up? And that's a problem. That's a big problem, if you ask me. Apparently nobody's asking me. I'm telling you anyway. So here it is, grocery prices going up. And now we have to be vigilant about our products getting less. In July, the cost of groceries increased 13.1% compared to last year, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the BLS. And, well, you can take out the L out of that and you'll get what really happens and the information that we're really fed. But, hey, July Consumer Price Index, the CPI, that is what was presented by the BLS, which showed those statistics. In addition to tracking prices, the BLS also monitors shrinkflation. When the price of a product stays the same, sometimes it rises, but its package size gets smaller. And, okay, my question now becomes, why are they monitoring it? For what? According to the BLS, though, shrinkflation is a type of price increase. That's something we track and account for. Steve Reed, an economist at the BLS, told Yahoo Finance. For example, he says, when looking at the pricing of a 64-ounce container of orange juice, and we try to price it, and it is only 59 ounces. Maybe it's the same price, but for 59 ounces instead of 64 ounces, that'll be computed as a price increase. Okay, so it is computed as such, but does Joe Public recognize it as such? Or is this just another fancy way, another fancy bit of marketing? Some categories where package size changes are seen the most include certain snack type items and also household paper products, your toilet paper, paper towels. This according to Reed. While the term shrinkflation is a buzzword of late, it was first coined by British economist Pippa Malmgren about 10 years ago. And Reed said this agency had been tracking the practice for years. I don't think that it's a new phenomenon. It's something that has gone on for a long time. Like I said, the potato chips thing, this was when I was working at the Salvation Army. And I've left the Salvation Army a few years now. What was that, 2018? Yeah, so 4 years. And I noticed it way before. So yeah, I just didn't really pay attention to the term associated with it. So here it is, the magic show. And if you look back at certain products, if you have old like jars, if they still have their labeling on them, some of the products that you still buy today, you might recognize that the ounces, the quantity printed on those labels are different then from they are now. Or you might notice that the size of the jar is different. Edgar Dworsky, founder of the consuming news site consumerworld.org, recalls downsizing as a child. He says, I remember my Mounds bar used to be 2 ounces. Then it became 1.8 or 1.9. Since the cost to make the treat increased, the company was likely faced with 3 choices, he said. Change the ingredients, change the price, or make it smaller. Dworsky surmised the company went with making the product smaller, in part because candy machines at the time only accepted nickels. That, if you want to reason it out that way, I guess that's okay. Even the soap bars are getting small. Yeah, EB. I believe they are. I'm a shower gel kind of a guy myself, but I suspect that they are. On his other site, mouseprint.com, Dworsky features reader-submitted shrinking products. One example is the size of a jar of Utz pretzels, UTZ. Once 28 ounces, now 26 ounces. Another example is the size of Quaker Life cereal, in which the cereal box name changed from giant size at 24.8 ounces to family size at 22.3 ounces. But it EB, that's I don't know. either the soap is getting small or my behind is getting bigger. I think the soap is getting smaller. That's my story and I'm sticking with it. Okay, EB, I don't know. If somebody can confirm what EB is trying to say, please do so. So there are places where inflation isn't, though, which is really interesting. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics data as of July, and let me see if I can share this with you guys really quickly, because this is one of those images that if I can, no. All right, so you guys, you're probably gonna have to go find this article yourself. It is titled How Shrinkflation Amid Rising Food Prices is Just Like a Magic Show by Brooke DiPalma, DIPALMA. And it's an article you can find on Yahoo Finance. And it is dated earlier this month in August. Now, Dworsky said it's quite common for customer favorites to be resized and reintroduced under a new name, emphasizing manufacturers have gotten really good repackaging and repricing. I would have to agree that yes, they've gotten really good, and not so much the market, the manufacturers, but the marketers. The marketers. I tip my hat to the marketers. Data scientist Sheldon H. Jacobson of University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign says the concept of shrinkflation is in many ways just a magic show. It's much like a magician works. They do sleight of hand. They do something with their left hand, but nobody is looking at their right hand when they're doing something else. And that's exactly what is happening here. Because you have the product getting smaller while the price remains the same. So what ends up happening is it is no longer in their, or the consumers, they're the mind comparable. So the giant size becomes a family size, and we can't compare those that are completely different labeling. If something is new and improved, that we can compare, that is, it's a different product. So they're continuing in some sense to befuddle the consumer, thinking they're getting something better or something different without realizing they're getting less and paying more. That, ladies and gentlemen, is expert marketing. If I had that kind of marketing genius, I'd be rich. No lie. I'd be filthy rich. Because I'd be making money where these manufacturers are saving money, getting my expertise. Yeah. Because they have to pay for this creative genius. I had to go to school for that. Oh, speaking of going to school. So here it is. Here's another cost that has gone up. So we are going to colleges. We're sending our children off to colleges, and they're getting their degrees and finishing up with what? 40, 60, 80, $100,000 in debt. Starting off their work life. So, over what period of time, if now they're just getting out there in the world, how are they supposed to start building a life, one, and providing for their family when they start making that, two, and paying back this debt, I guess most importantly, three, how does this work? And so, in a country where, or in an economy where credit is king, you find that you have to be in debt in order to build your credit. And if you're in debt, then you're also stressed. Yes? Which leads me to the question, how is it that shrinkflation affects our health? Because the more we pay attention to things like these, and the more we realize that, hey, we are not getting paid for our services comparatively to how we're spending for consumables. So my work that I put in when I go to the factory, when I go to the workplace, whatever the workplace is, of what value is that to the company? Because if I work for a manufacturing company and they're making smaller products and keeping the price where it is so that they can maintain their bottom line, or so that they can pay me, if they're now getting more because it's a price increase, they're putting out less products in the same package, right? So it's really and truly raising the price of that package. How am I not getting a price increase, a wage increase? And this is where I keep coming back to. And the thought where do we as consumers get to go to air our grosses when it comes to things like this? Because it's not illegal, so we can't say, all right, let's file a class action suit. Let's get together, file a class action suit against whichever manufacturer for making products and changing the amount of product that we're getting and keeping the price and deceiving us. Lowering us into a false sense of security. So, with recognizing that it isn't an illegal practice, do we get to talk about it being an unethical practice? And so now we get into ethics and morals and law and legalities, right? Where is the line of demarcation? At what point does it not become a blurred line and become a bold line that stands out? Because it has to happen some point, sometime, somewhere, somehow. So now, the idea of business and things that could be immoral in business is just another marketing ploy and not so much illegal. Let's see what some of the professionals have to say about the ethics of shrinkflation when we come back. We're going to take a quick little break. Call your friends, tell your friends, friends of your friends, friends of your enemies, enemies of your friends, and your enemies too, because the information is good for everybody. Especially since we all have to buy consumables. Call up some people, tell them. It's the night shift of DJ Kevin Stew, Community and Finance Night. We're talking shrinkflation. We'll be right back. Matthew 28:19 says, "Go ye therefore and teach all nations." With this in mind, and encouragement received during a South Florida media conference, The Church Links was birthed. The Church Links is an interdenominational worship service portal for churches, providing the tools to spread the word through technology in a cost-effective way. The Church Links, www.dahchurchlinx.com. Your links to worship and praise.
Making great music is one thing, sharing it with the world, that's another. Let the professionals at Reggae Global Entertainment help you to another level. Specializing in artist management, booking, Making great music is one thing, sharing it with the world, that's another. Let the professionals at Reggae Global Entertainment help you to another level. Specializing in artist management, booking, public relations and marketing, and promotion. Reggae Global Entertainment can help you with event planning, websites, photography, and video production, press releases, legal services, and graphic design. They can even help you with music production, so you can get the sound that you want every time. Call Reggae Global Entertainment at 954-804-8199. That's 804-8199. Or visit them online at reggaeglobalentertainment.com.
When being in the moment is priceless, consider the ability to share that moment. If you can video it, you can broadcast it. And Pulse E-Media Group has the tools you need. Weddings, birthdays, funerals, graduations, church services, parties, seminars, you name it. Pulse E-Media Group can provide you with a secure medium controlled by you to broadcast your event. Contact us at www.pulseemediagroup.com for more information. Pulse E-Media Group, when being in the moment is priceless.
Yes. Akar Mantino, I'm making notes right now. You are locked in to DJ Kevin Stew on the night shift.
The sound of Cesar. Track called Morning in Gideon. Are we aware of what is really happening around us? We're paying attention to some of the things that we are seeing? Or is it that we're just looking but not really seeing? Or we're seeing but not paying attention? What is it that we're doing? You know, we have recognized that this whole idea of shrinkflation is, as per the legal system, not illegal at all. Smaller products, bigger prices. The mass.gov had a news article, which is the Massachusetts government. There was a blog post where they talk about shrinkflation, and this was back in 2021. And it reads, "Honey, I shrunk the cereal." And it's not a new movie adding to the 1990s comedy classic series. It's a phrase consumers might find themselves repeating while putting away groceries. You may notice that your favorite product's container shape has changed, gotten smaller, or is missing a serving that was once included. This is not your imagination. It is shrinkflation. And shrinkflation is the process of items shrinking in size, quantity, or quality while pricing remains the same or goes up. The practice is common in consumer goods as a way for manufacturers to reduce production or packaging costs. So they reduce that cost. Where does it go when they keep prices the same? Or when they go up on their prices? Everybody's in business to make a profit. How much does it cost to produce one of these items, really and truly? You know, how much does it cost to let's look at pharmaceuticals. One of the biggest businesses in the United States. How much does it cost to produce one of some of these pills? Pennies, maybe. But yet still, you're paying sometimes hundreds of dollars for medication. Why? Big business. So here you have this whole product pricing that may increase due to a rise in business costs, like cost of fuel, lumber, utilities, rent. These things, not the cost of paying the workers. You notice that is never included in the overheads. Business costs are labeled out, but then you hear of fuel, goods as ingredients, but you don't hear of salaries. And this is where the lack of focus leads to our demise. Because when you have your most important resource having to be extra resourceful just to make it from day to day, what is left for us to do? And how is it that the rich still get richer? And how is it that there's more of a economical divide? Because that gap gets bigger and bigger and bigger, wider and wider. If everything is going up. Clearly because not everything is going up. And you have to be positioned a certain place in order to benefit from these changes in these prices. Or, yeah. So, shrinking container size keeps prices the same but gives consumers a little less for their money. Shrinkflation is legal as long as products are clearly labeled and the business is not engaging in unfair or deceptive practices. What exactly is an unfair, deceptive practice? How does one define that? Because if we're going to say, okay, let's rebrand this, let's repackage it, but let's give the consumers less product, but let them feel good for this new thing at the same price. Or we could add a few cents on this new product because it's a new product. And they'll be willing to get it. Let's keep the old product out there still. But give them the option to get the new product. And then we slowly phase out the old product so that they get comfortable with the new product. And they won't realize that the old product is gone. Because we have short-term memory. And most of us typically focus on the cost of a product versus what we're getting in that product. So we don't pay attention to the quantity as much. The Division of Standards, an agency within the Office of Consumer Affairs and Business Regulation, OCABR, oversees weights and measurements in the Commonwealth and enforces the item pricing law, unit pricing regulations, and item pricing waivers to retail stores. The DOS, the Division of Standards, also inspects prepackaged food and non-food products to ensure that the net quantity is accurate and that any variation is within the acceptable legal metrology parameters. What are those parameters exactly? I don't know, but maybe you can do some research and find out. The laws and regulations under DOS oversight require food and grocery stores to individually price mark most items with the actual selling price. The laws also require food and grocery merchants to sell any item at the lowest price indicated on an item, sign, or advertisement. Advertisement, depending on where you come from. Now, while the DOS continues to work to ensure consumers are protected with respect to pricing and weights and measures, consumers can take some steps to combat shrinkflation. Okay, so there's the hope that they can take these steps. What are these steps, you might ask? Shop around and consider competitors or store brands to compare value if you notice a product has downsized. According to consumerworld.org, store brands are often the last products to experience shrinkflation. All right. Let's think about this for a moment. Shop around. Time is money. So if you're shopping around virtually, you're going to take time to do so, and you could be using that time for something else. Yes? So you're potentially losing out on being efficient that way. Not only that, if you're physically shopping around, now you're using up resources like gas. And again, time. The time that you spend in the store comparing prices, again, time is money. Now, is it worth it? That now becomes a question. Do you do this comparison over time to maximize the amount of time that you spend in the store, or minimize the amount of time that you spend getting a product, I should say? How do you go about balancing this out if you're going to be shopping around to consider competitors or to go with store brands? Listen, I have no problems with store brands. You know why? Because some of these very same store brands are the name brands manufacturing it and putting it out under the store brand. It's coming from the same place, manufactured the very same way, the very same ingredients, and at the very same quantities, some of them. Some of them, the store brands, tend to be put together or packaged a little bit better. Go figure. But then again, you'd have to be reading labels to get that. So, go ahead, get your store brands versus the name brands, or shop around for a better location to get the product. Compare unit pricing on items to determine the best deal when evaluating different packaging designs. Yeah, sometimes it's all about the colors. Sometimes it's all about packaging. That what is it that you're getting? Are you getting your bang for your buck? The best bang? or are you getting just a pop? Purchase less pre-packaged foods. A single orange, head of lettuce, or a dozen eggs are not as susceptible to shrinkage as and price increases will be more evident. So be wise about your shopping experience. Now understand that the Massachusetts Consumer Product Protection Law enables the Attorney General and consumers to take legal action against unfair or deceptive conduct in the marketplace. And so, yes, we would think that there is an out because, once something happens in one state and it has happened in court, then, attorneys anywhere else can draw on that and say, hey, based on the ruling in this court at this time with case this person versus that, here is the precedent. And, present an argument using that based on that ruling. But guess what? The law does not define any specific business actions that violate the law. Rather, it states that, quote, unfair or deceptive practices are illegal. Define the unfair or deceptive practices. Who defines that? And, when you start talking about laws, you kind of have to be very careful because for the most part, it is open to interpretation, and who interprets it with the best charisma gets the most airtime, as in ears time. Because, they have presentation, they have presence. So they get to present that argument the best way possible, and it sounds fancy, and it sounds believable, sounds plausible. So, who determines that unfair and or deceptive practice? I would think that it would be pretty unfair or pretty deceptive when you're going to be told, hey, this is the new improved product A. And product A and product B are the very same product, but product A is now selling for 20 cents more than product B, and although it's the same product, you're getting 10% less. Why do you want it? Because it says new and improved? What has improved? Did you look at the label? Nothing has changed. Just the appearance. So now you're paying for the appearance. Or are you paying for the marketing that has gone into presenting that new appearance of the product? Is it illegal? No, it is not. Is it immoral? Now that becomes debatable. Who determines morality when it comes to the products being presented? Is there any ethical basis on which to present an argument? And so Prezi.com talks about some of these things, and one of the things that I found interesting in this article of the ethics of shrinkflation, the question is asked in there: do marketers have the duty to give notice to consumers of package size changes when in effect results in which in effect results in price increases? So do the marketers have a duty to inform the consumers of these changes? Now, the shareholder theory and teleology says no. It is the duty of the consumer to check the weight, price, quantity, and serving size. Here's the thing. Only about 8% will suffer. This is what they say. So that is one stakeholder theory and teleology. Teleology, sorry. the stakeholder theory and deontology says, yes, it is the duty of the firm to protect the interest of its consumers. Shrinkflation is morally wrong as it utilizes it utilizes deception and can therefore not be justified. And I'm like, wait. So they recognize that in this argument, there could be the presentation of deception. But they say the end justifies the means. I know you talk about conduct as cost-benefit analysis. So your producer's operation, say, raise prices to cover increased cost, downsize and maintain margin, maintain price, reducing size, flagging 15% reduced. And the debate goes on. You have the ethical question. Do marketers have a duty to give notice to consumers of package size changes, which in effect results in price increase? Do they? Ultimately, marketers are in a position to exploit the favorable balance in asymmetric knowledge to effect unfair gains at the expense of consumers who are likely to make less rational choices. Because, again, a lot of the consumers are impulse buyers. We act on impulse. A lot of us, we like what we see. It's the packaging that catches our eye. Oh, that looks pretty. Let's go get that. Versus this one that looks plain. And it's probably why a lot of people went for name brands over store brands for a long time, because of how the package looked. But let's say you got some cereal and you bought this name brand cereal. And in the package of name brand cereal, you get 3 servings. But the package of store brand cereal, you get 5 servings. People want to go with the name brand cereal because it's the name brand and it looks good. But when you pour both cereals in a bowl and you look at that bowl, you cannot tell the difference between the name brand cereal and the store brand cereal, because the 2 cereals look the same. So why are you paying for the outside when the only thing you're going to do is discard it when you're done? And not the inside that you're going to be consuming over a period of time. Which is more important? The container or the contents? And so, because 90% tend to look at just the outside, 90% only look at the price. Just about 8% of consumers look at the quantity that they're getting in paying for the price. And so what our manufacturers do is say, hey, listen, this 8% I can afford to lose. What is 8% compared to the 92% that is going to be remaining? Why? Because it's the same price for something that they've always bought. And if they're not cutting down on the purchase of this product, I don't lose. So I don't need to tell them anything. First of all, a business exists to make profit. Anybody that is learning business, that's the first thing that you're taught. A business exists to make profit. So how do we make a profit? And where does this profit go? Where does the profit go in a business anyway? Those who are business owners, we like to benefit from the profits of our businesses, don't we? Anybody that is involved in a business, the main reason you're in business is to make a profit, and you want to enjoy the benefits of that profit. Because that goes to your vacation, that goes to your Sunday vehicle. that goes to the fancy thing that you want to buy for your children, your spouse, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Except the ethical part of it. And I guess with ethics, is there a right or a wrong? How does it really work? In business, is there a right and a wrong? Do we apply the same things that we apply to how we interact with each other? How we maintain our personal relationships? Do we apply those same rules? Those same guidelines? So, let's look really quickly before I go off into musical therapy at some of the things that are affected by shrinkflation. And we're talking from toilet paper to candy bars. BusinessInsider.com put out a list of some products that are affected by shrinkflation. And some companies hiding costs by shrinking the size of everyday products. And so what are some of these products? Really quickly. Here we go. The Frito-Lay, they shrank bags of some Doritos from 9.75 ounces to 9.25 ounces. And bags in both these sizes, as well as some 9.5 bags, are currently for sale at Target for the same price. We took just a little bit out of the bag so we can give you the same price, and you keep enjoying our chips, your chips. This is what a Frito-Lay spokesperson told the Quartz. And this is according to BusinessInsider.com. Gatorade. We mentioned this one earlier. They redesigned its 32-ounce bottle to be more aerodynamic and easier to grab. Okay, why do we need an aerodynamic bottle? Who are we throwing it at? A Gatorade representative told that to Quartz in March of this year. The new design holds 28 ounces, which is a 14% drop, despite both bottles being the same height. Just use less plastic. And I guess that's a good thing. Less plastic, and, it's less plastic out there in the world. But, same price. Pizza giant Domino's said in January that it would be cutting down on the number of chicken wings in its $7.99 national promotion from 10 to 8, attributing the decision to the rising price of chicken. It also made the deal online only to save on the expense of having someone work the phone. Little things. Earlier this year, Burger King reduced the number of chicken nuggets in its $4.49 meals from 10 pieces to 8. How many people recognize that? You won't catch me at Burger King going to buy anything, so I don't know. But those who normally do Burger King, did you notice? What I did notice is at another fast food restaurant, they took one item off. What was it? 4 for $4, and now have a $5 biggie bag. That you get what you got in the 4 for $4, now for $5. Hey, listen. It's their party. If you want to go enjoy yourself at the party, you got to pay the price, right? Walmart. Their great value paper towels dropped from 168 sheets per roll to 120. That's a big drop per roll. The price remained the same. So if you think your bargain stores are not going through the same thing, no, think again. Hershey, they cut their 18-ounce pack of dark chocolate kisses by almost 2 ounces. Did you notice that? Let's go again. Hefty, hefty, hefty. Their mega pack went from 90 bags to 80, 80, 80. Same price. That's a little bit of a hefty drop too, right? A 2-pack of Reese's Peanut Butter Cups used to weigh 1.6 ounces. They cut off 0.1 ounce. It's now 1.5 ounces. You think it's the packaging? No, it's the product. There's not much packaging in the product anyway. In Canada, Quaker has reduced the size of its chewy bars from 0.92 ounces to 0.84 ounces. CNBC reported this, and there's a photo of actor Miranda Cosgrove posing with Quaker Oats, with Quaker bars, and it shows they weigh 0.84 ounces in 2010. But some photos from 1990 show they weighed 0.99 ounces. How about that? See how long now people have been doing this thing. It's nothing new. Cans of Pringles are different weights depending on the flavor in the US. But at Target, they all cost the same. Now, did you know that the amount of the size of the chip has changed also? Anybody realize that? Trade publication, the grocer reported that Tesco, the UK's biggest supermarket, was shaving 50 grams, which is 1.76 ounces, of its ready-made meals. Well, some of them anyway. 1.76 ounces. Some of Royal Cane's cans of cat food. Now, even the animals are suffering. They now weigh 5.1 ounces down from 5.9 ounces. But they still cost the same. Royal Canin, a subsidiary of Mars. So, wait, the same people that give you the Mars bars give you the Royal Canin? Okay, cat food, Mars bars. I don't know. What is it that you're eating? They said it had reduced some product sizes because of unprecedented demand for pet food during the pandemic. Okay. The pandemic caused some people to be sick. A few people died. Majority recovered. An unprecedented demand for pet food? What, people started eating pet food? Somebody talk to me. Tillamook, they decreased the size of its ice cream cartons from 56 ounces to 48 ounces. It said it didn't make the decision lightly, but that it didn't make its carton smaller. It would have had to hike. If they didn't make the carton smaller, they would have had to hike prices because of rising ingredients costs. Seriously? General Mills shrunk its family-size boxes from 1.93 ounces to 18.1 ounces. So it's from 19.3 to 18.1. Nearly 10% drop. Of course, you're paying the same price for it. Cereal brands frequently make shrinkflation list. And Post is one of them. They downsized Cocoa Pebbles and other family-sized boxes from 20.5 ounces to 19.5 ounces, according to consumer advocate Edgar Dworsky, according to his Watchdog website. Quaker's Life cereal shrunk from 24.8 ounces to 22.3, and it was renamed from Giant to Family Size, even though the box actually got bigger. That is genius. That right there. Unethical, out of this world, but genius, because people bought it. Not paying attention. Cottonelle's Ultra Clean Care toilet paper down to 312 sheets from 340. Bounty Triples reduced sheet count the Bounty Triples reduced sheet count from 165 sheets to 147. Procter & Gamble told Quartz that it's still a better deal than before because the sheets are more absorbent. Well, we wouldn't really know because all the sheets that we had before are done. We have nothing to compare it to. We can be told anything at this point. So more absorbent than what? Cadbury changed the shape of its famous dairy milk bars in 2013 and changed the size of them also. The individual pieces now have rounded edges and contain nearly 10% less chocolate than before. See, little things, big difference. Dairy milk isn't the only product. Cadbury milk product. But dairy milk isn't the only product Cadbury, owned by Mondelez, has shrunk over the years. Chocolate bars it sells in multi-packs weigh much less than ones it sells individually. And it announced plans to shrink down the size of multi-pack bars even further. So, the Cadbury Whisper chocolate bar is 36 grams. But the 4-pack is 30 grams each. I tell you. Mondelez also owns Swiss chocolate company Toblerone. I actually like this chocolate. And they make distinctively triangular chocolate bars. In 2014, it reduced its weight of its bars by 25% by adding more space between each piece, but reversed the decision 2 years ago. Well, 2 years later, after public outcry. So, people, I guess if we complain enough, there might be a little bit of a reprieve. The same thing has happened with Wheat Thins. It changed its family size from 16 to 14 ounces, with about 28 fewer crackers per box. Those who like yogurt, Chobani minimized its Flips yogurts from 5.3 ounces to 4.5 ounces. Some people buy the Chobani just because it's just that. Name brand. This one was really interesting. Folgers reduced its 51-ounce container down to 43.5 ounces, but the company says it makes the same number of cups of coffee thanks to its lighter beans. So the lighter the beans, the more potent they are. Somebody talk to me. Somebody from Folgers would have to explain that to me. I'm not a coffee drinker, so I don't get it. Hair products is another one. This is the last one I'm gonna give you, because we have gone way into musical therapy time. Procter & Gamble reportedly shrunk its Pantene Pro V Curl Protection Conditioner from 12 fluid ounces to 10.4. The price, well, that remained the same. I tell you, it's musical therapy time, and do we need some therapy tonight? Why? I see them yeah, some of us are lost in illusion. Lost in illusion. Thank you to Matt Neil Truckin for sponsoring this segment of the broadcast, kicking it off with Nikki Blaze. The track is called Lost in Illusion.
And now they reside in the state of confusion. Why is it that my race remains poor? My race sitting on the jail floors. My race fighting to knock down doors. Same race they stole from across the shore. My race that built this great nation still trapped on my plantation. I see them love. Oh yes, I see them. Lost in illusion. Lost in illusion. I see them love. Oh yes, I see them. Lost in delusion. And now they reside in a state of confusion. Rwanda, Haiti, down in Darfur, Jamaica, they're crying out for murder, hunger. Why can't we come together and help one another? It only takes but one to start a revolution. Please don't play into the illusion. Oh, I see them lost, yeah, I see them lost, in a state of confusion. Wake up, yeah. Oh, I see them lost. I see them lost. I see them running. Oh, I see them running. Oh, my people lost. Oh, my people lost. Yeah. I wanna tell it to you now. I see them lost. Lost in illusion, yeah. I see them lost, oh, lost in delusion, yeah. My people, you lost, oh. I see them lost.
This is the piano stylings of Jamie Hinkson. It's called Junction Road. That's the name of the rhythm compilation also. This is on Marcelo Mello. It's called Cora Chow Luco. Translated Crazy Heart.
Que é meu, o que é seu vá conquistar. Eu nasci de um feto que me mostrou coisas certas. Na vida a gente aprende e esqueceu que nunca chega. Então siga em frente, sem pressa de acertar. Meu coração bate louco se ela me ligar. Se ela me ligar. Às vezes embaraça. O bom de ser feliz é que mente ruim só traz desgraça. Ligo para um amigo, pergunto se ele está bem. E antes diz esbanjar, reflito se ele também tem. Vai pagar fiado, meus beijos de alto valor, ou vai ficar na neura esperando a lombra passar. Só se ferra quem espera, agora sou quem dá o lance. Com os dados na minha mão sou pior que uma avalanche. Pior que uma avalanche.
By side, James Hinkson. No war, sem guerra.
This is Victor Badaro.
Dia a gente precisa mudar.
It's called No War.
E sei lá, viver de jeito mais feliz, sem guerra. Aqueles que
it's also called Sem Guerra. Yes, that's a translation, eh?
Aqueles que querem amar. Quem é que tem mais força? Aterrorizam nossas casas, nos tira do nosso centro, transformam tudo em ferro e brasa, com palavras ao vento. No war, dia a gente precisa mudar, evoluir, deixar fluir, sei lá, viver de jeito mais feliz. Precisa saber essa cultura da ganância. Quanto mais melhor, a custa de que a vida dos irmãos a perecer. E se for preto, se for indígena ou imigrante, qual vida vale mais se somos iguais?
This is that young lady out of West Palm Beach. Her name is Kiera. It's called Light Up.
Me not so done up, but spread light one stove, light one stove. A couple blessing me, a couple blessings strap down to my shoes. Hey, money never short of it, and you a counterfeit, that's on the news. Hey, say you a murder, oh a murder that you a choose. You got them matic for frighten the youths. Them thing they a plastic recycle for use. Hey, lion we lock down it then. Realest thing in a this not pretend. Even you a defend, right them off and we don't need a pen. Repping the people, nobody pre we. When you see we, proceed with caution. Run for the diesel, burn up the street, yeah. Proceed with caution. Light up if you're ready for the fire. Your time up, might as well you go retire. Cause we are coming at so done up, but with light one stove, light one stove. Hear me now when your bass a drop. Figure, wipe them out, wouldn't take them up. See me, done them out, wouldn't take a shot. We run them out like you see in pan track. Cause a beer gun ringing at the mine a lot. With your baby bullet, you a mine at that. Got the worst for your gun cause it kinda walk. Me the holes in the one is a tiger shot. So please, watch where you step in me G. We burning up everything, yeah. 1,000 degrees, stepping the people, nobody free we. When you see we, proceed with caution. Run for the diesel, burn up the street, yeah. Proceed with caution. We are burn them, show them what we gon' do. Better learn then, watch when we are come true. Like a whirlwind, I up a globe too. Hotter than a soul food, show them what we gon' do.
The Vatican would have said it's all right. The prophecy's been fulfilled, so this must be God's will. But there was just one problem with that. Haile Selassie was black, and the Vatican couldn't have that, no. The Vatican couldn't have that. Yes, so they tell us that the Bible is.
This is the sound of Child of Reggae.
Except for revelation.
It's called The Message.
Know if you read that book, it will open up investigation, and therein you will see that the real Jehovah was in fact a black man who come from Ethiopia. Tafari Makanin was his name, oh, Jarastafari. I give my praises unto you, 'cause you are the most high. Haile Selassie was black, and the Vatican couldn't have that, no. Haile Selassie was black, and the Vatican, they couldn't have that. They even ignored the fact that he came through the exact lineage of royalty, yeah, predicted in a prophecy. And if he'd had the lightest skin, he would have been hailed as Almighty's king. But like I said, he was black, and the Vatican couldn't have that. Haile Selassie was black, and the Vatican couldn't have that. Haile Selassie was black, and the Vatican couldn't have that.
Music is a sweet vibration. It's the music right now that's healing our nation.
This is the sound of Empress Unique. A track you call Sweet Vibration. I want to say a blessed Earth Day to Empress Unique. We're celebrating another trip around the sun today.
On the music to give it sweet sensation. This one is called Sweet Vibration. Sweet Vibration. We're gonna play sweet music all over the nation. Come on, play the bass line. Play for me, my bassy. Can you hear my easy in the middle, just a dropping it easy? Hear me drum upon him drum, I beat up him rim and I play him cymbal. He is the heartbeat of the music, and I know I can't refuse it. Sweet vibration. Come let me rock, let me rock, let me rock all night. To the sound of the music, it is playing so nice. Let the rhythm hit you where you feel it. Let the mood of the music soothe and heal it. Put your hand round the waist. Let's wind our bodies and embrace. This here music, it feels so good in this place. Don't you wanna dance with me? Don't you wanna feel the rhythm? Don't you wanna feel the music coming from within? I wanna rock it. Please don't stop it. This sweet, sweet music. Can you hear the drum upon him drum? I beat up him rim and I play him cymbal. He is the heartbeat of the music, and I know I can't refuse it.
Dancing time. I see you sitting there all night with your beautiful eyes shining so bright.
That's right.
Listening to the beat that sounds so sweet.
The sound of Hal Anthony.
If I sit beside you,
It's called Get Up and Dance.
So hard to resist your charm. I just wanna say, can I have this dance?
Just one dance.
Get up, get up, get up, and dance with me. Get up, get up, get up, come dance with me. Get up, get up, get up, and dance with me. Get up, get up, get up, come dance with me. Thank you so much for that lovely dance. Been a long time I've danced like that. Maybe someday we can dance again. Or if before the night is over, so get up, get up, get up, and dance with me. Get up, get up, get up, come dance with me. Get up, get up, get up, come dance with me. Get up, get up, get up, and dance with me.
Yeah, man, it's dancing time.
Such a lovely night.
Time for me to dance up out to this chair.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
Dance my way into a brand new day.
And dance with me. Get up, get up, get up.
I want to thank you all for hanging out with me.
Get up, get up.
Thank you for those who shared,
Dance with me.
those who called a friend, tell a friend,
Up and dance with me.
the friends of their friends and the friends of their enemies and their enemies too.
Dance. Maybe someday we can dance again. I saw you.
Inviting you all to join me again later on. Yeah, man, 10 p.m. Eastern, right here, kevinstew.com and affiliates for healthy love.
Rockin' to the beat that sounds so sweet.
The sound of Hal Anthony taking us out.
If I sit beside you,
A track called Get Up and Dance.
I chat with you.
As we part company, I do want to remind you, look out for members of your community. Remember, your community is not just the development that you live in, but it spreads far and wide. Give somebody some information today. Talk to them about looking at their products a little bit closer. Not just the cost, but the quantity.
Get up, get up, get up and dance.
Those that you pass on the bus, on the plane, the boat, or the train, whether you walk, ride, or drive, these are members of your community. So reach out to one of them today. Give them a helping hand, because you never know who's going to reach out and help you tomorrow. My name is Kevin Stew, so I like to do it to you, for you, and with you every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday right here at kevinstew.com for the night shift to DJ Kevin Stew. 10 p.m. Eastern. Good morning, good afternoon, good day to you wherever you are in the world from right here in South Florida. I bid you all a good night. Greetings and salutations, one and all. You're invited to tune in to the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew. It airs on Mondays with Community and Finance, Tuesdays with Healthy Love, and Wednesdays with Real Talk from 10 p.m. to midnight Eastern Time. Come spend some time interacting in the stew pot where we keep things bubbling and wind down in musical therapy. The night shift with DJ Kevin Stew is on kevinstew.com, where you're encouraged to have acceptance through enlightenment.